Hi everyone, this is a video of the website called, hang on a minute, I will show you, 5-Minute Mysteries. Yes, this is a website called 5-Minute Mysteries, and if you remember, I did a video on it a couple of months ago, quite a while ago actually. And what it is, it's a website full of short stories. Well, they're not exactly stories. The twist is that you, the reader, have to work out who did it, instead of them telling you. You have to work it out. You're the detective in the stories, in every one of these stories. And as you can see, there's official mysteries, and that's the one I'm going to be doing. And there's also user-submitted mysteries. I don't really like the user-submitted ones because they're a bit rubbish, to be honest. They're like, I've tried them. They're not very good. I like the official mysteries much better. They're much more really good ones. There's like murder mysteries and things like that. So I just want to solve one with you. I'm doing this, it's not like planned or pre-recorded. This is the first time I'm doing this mystery. Not the first time I'm using the website, but the first time I'm doing the mystery that I'm about to show you. And I will show you how it works. Hang on, let's look for a good one. The mystery of the frowning clown. That just sounds stupid. I don't like trying a mystery if it sounds completely stupid. It's got to sound good. It's got to sound good. I like the murder mystery ones. Those are the best. The White House Ghosts. And the percentages, as you can see the percentages on the right-hand side. The percentages show, hang on, I'll show you. The percentages show the solve rate, like how many people got this right who attempted it. That's the percentages. Too many turkeys. Sorry, I'm trying to find a good one because I don't want to do just a boring one. Some of them are a little bit boring, and for example, some of them are about like who stole my bubble gum or something like that. So no, I don't want to do one of those. Okay, I'm going back to one actually. Sorry about that. Let's try murder in the early morning. I'm not sure if I've done it before. Oh yeah, I see. It says I've solved the mystery. Sorry about that. I've already solved the mystery. The missing dagger. Let's try the missing dagger. I haven't tried this before. Yeah, so I just want to state beforehand, if I'm going too fast or too slow for you, feel free to pause or skip ahead or whatever. So, yeah. So, Paul Benham, Mitchell Land, Matthew Light, and Chris Palmer are friends since junior high, almost 50 years ago. Russell was very pleased. They came out from town, Mitch and Chris, which the men were enjoying tonight. They would comment on the uniqueness of their lengthy and lasting friendship. Just in the last couple of years, they had begun to refer to themselves as the Longevity Club. Longevity Club. Okay, so there's this dagger, which I presume is about to go missing, and it's a really old one, which is a really good weapon, and it's a pretty one, apparently. So, yes. This has got a solve rate of 57%, so that's quite high. Most people are able to solve it, but I will attempt this mystery. So we've got five suspects. And by the way, so how this game works, this is actually a game, and how this works is you get 10 points if you solve it correctly. If you choose the right suspect, you get 10 points for it. And also you're able to mark clues. Like I'll show you. You're able to mark you can say whether this incriminates or exonerates any of the suspects. See, you can pick them, and you can unmark it if you don't think you've changed your mind and you don't think that's a clue anyway. So, and oh, by the way, about the clues, when you mark a clue like that and you say whether it incriminates or exonerates someone, if you get that clue right, then you get extra points, like extra 2 points. But if you get it wrong, you will lose 2 points or something like that. So, yeah, so I'm about to start, and feel free to skip ahead if I'm too slow, or whatever, like pause it if I'm too fast. So, yeah. When you're, just a note, when you're doing these, the reason I go so slow is because you look at a sentence and you think that's completely irrelevant, it's completely not important, but that sentence turns out to be quite important and significant in it. So they're talking about the temperature. Apparently it was 100 degrees outside with no rainfall. So Mitch said, Mitch is saying, no, you've never mentioned it, at least I've not heard of it. Never mentioned it, at least I've not heard of it. The others in turn indicated to Russell that they hadn't heard of it either. With a twinkle in his eye, Russell said, would you like to see it? Chris asked, don't you have a safety deposit box or someplace safe? Yeah, sure do. It's upstairs in the attic. May not be the safest place for an heirloom, Chris replied cautiously. Well, it's been up there in plain sight for over 20 years. Would you like to go up and see it? So the 5 friends were in the spacious attic of the Smith home. The Smith attic was a walk-in on the 2nd floor and was considered an attic only because it was unfinished and contained only one small decorative window. But the window was on the west wall and allowed ample sunlight into the dimly lit room in the afternoons. The heat and air conditioning vents were closed. Leaving the room hot in the summer and cold in the winter, but it was surprisingly clean and free of dust. I feel like temperature, again, they're mentioning temperature, might be significant in this. Russell had mounted the dagger on the north wall. So the window's on the left. He's put the dagger on the north wall. Why, Chris keeps saying that the attic is a bad place for it. I don't know why you would say that, because in all honesty, I'm sure a lot of people would keep their heirlooms in the attic, except maybe not in quite the way that this guy has, but yeah. Ooh, so Mitch just said that he staged this robbery. That is a nasty thing to say to your friend, your old friend, after you come to their house and after the dagger goes missing, like, immediately. I'm tempted to mark that as incriminating him, but in all honesty, he was making an interesting point, so I'll leave it for now. Yes, I do have insurance. He was truly heartbroken over this. It did not stay durable. We're going to hash this out and see if we can determine what happened. Trust me, guys, I truly do not want to believe anyone here is a thief, but I do not know what else to believe. Afternoon. Once was a late afternoon. I left to run the store to get a bag of ice. We were together most of the day, yesterday and Sunday, except for brief periods. I was alone a couple of times. Once was late Sunday afternoon when I ran to the store to get a bag of ice, and again last night. One was late Sunday afternoon when I left to get a bag of ice. It could have been taken in the middle of the night when everyone else was asleep. Russell was impressed and grateful that his friends had not to taken offense. All seemed concerned that his expensive heirloom was missing. He asked, "You know, Jean and I are in the upstairs." Is that pronounced Jean or Jean? Is that Jean? I'm not sure. Sorry. It could have been upstairs in the master bedroom. I'm a light sleeper, and so is he. If anyone had got into the attic, one of us would have heard it. Hang on, who said that? That's a bit suspicious to me. Paul saying that he's just admitted after someone. He would have kept that quiet if the other guy hadn't pointed out that he had soot on his shirt. He would have kept that quiet. But then he had to say, oh yeah, I went back in the afternoon by myself to look at it. And then he made the suggestion that it was stolen at night. So that's weird, isn't it? So I just wish to look at the dagger again. It was so dark in there I couldn't see well. Even with the light on. What did they say about the window? I think we can determine whether Paul's telling the truth here or not with the window. I'll scroll back up later. Let's just finish reading this. About the window being located on the west wall and this time. What was the time? Attic yesterday afternoon. Right. So they found a band-aid. She had a male snoring. So Matthew and Mitch, I think that exonerates Matthew and Mitch, don't you? Oh shit. Oh shit, I'm sorry, it's hard marking this. Oh. I think that those two things clearly exonerate Matthew and Mitch. Their alibis can be proven. What about Chris, though? You could ask the neighbor to confirm his alibi. Right, I want to scroll back up to the description of the attic. So you come into this room south, right? You come into the room south. And the dagger is mounted north. There's a window in the west. Now, we know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, does it not? The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So in the afternoon, it should be directly overhead, the hottest part of the day. Yes, look at that. It says it allows ample sunlight into the room in the early afternoon. And this guy, Paul, I think his name was, claimed that he went to see it, but it was so dark in there, even with the lights on, it was so dark in there, he said. Which I feel like that's a teeny weeny white light somewhere there. I think that incriminates Paul Benham. Yeah, that incriminates Paul Benham. Okay, guys, I think that Paul Benham is the thief here. I think he clearly did it. Because he's the only one. Yeah, he went to the attic in the afternoon. He admitted that after he didn't offer that immediately. He only admitted that when someone else pointed something out about him. He should have already admitted that, but he didn't. That was also suspicious. And we know that room, the attic, the windows on the west, and there's ample sunlight that comes in the afternoon. So he's clearly lying. And the other two men have alibis, and of course it could be the other guy, but I think that Paul did it, and I'm going to put that as the answer. Wow, it's been 18 minutes already. Yeah, I know, I take ages, but I'm not very good at this game, but I'd rather spend time on it and get it right than get it wrong. Yay, I was right. I got it right. Oh my gosh. I got it right. That was easy. That was easy. Look at that. My clues. So this said that it does not incriminate, but the top one, my first clue was wrong. Everything else, all my other clues were right. I got a score of 15. Right, so let's read the full solution, shall we? The club room was eerily quiet. Russell still thought it was fascinating that none of his friends seemed to be offended by being suspected of robbery within an old and dear friend's home. But nobody spoke up, so he began. Taking a deep breath, he said, "I'll start with myself. Chris saw me both times I was alone during the hours in question. He saw me leave to get ice and then saw me cleaning the grill. By the way, I have a sooty shirt he spoke of in the dirty clothes hamper. Chris took a walk alone yesterday morning, but he saw Tom Pollard at the end of the block. Tom lives in the N house and is always outside early. I can verify Chris is telling the truth easily enough by checking with Tom. Mitch claimed to have a cut finger. Although he's not wearing a band-aid now, I found a bloody one in the wastebasket in his Alicia's room. I doubt very seriously he cut a finger simply to have an alibi for a situation he had no idea would arise. For had I not left a brandy glass up there, it could have been days, even weeks before I would find the dagger missing. Matty was alone when napping, no way to prove that, except Myra heard heavy snoring from within the light bedroom. And she was certain it came from a male. Russell paused to catch his breath to screw up his gullet. So, Paul, that leaves you as the thief. Why did you take the dagger? Fighting back tears, Paul replied, I'm heavily in debt, almost to the point of professional and personal ruin. I saw the opportunity. Sorry. It was easy. You said you went to the attic yesterday afternoon and it was dark. That's not possible, Paul. The bright July sunlight would have lit the room coming through the west window in the afternoon. Besides, he added, I told a white lie to all of you. The dagger in the attic is a fake. The real dagger is in a safe deposit box. Whoa. Oh my goodness. That is sad. That is just sad, isn't it? That is really, really sad. But I got it right. So I know that this was a really easy mystery. This was quite an easy mystery, but there's much harder mysteries on this website. This was a 56%, as I told you, 56% of people solved this. But there's some of them which only like 17% of people solve correctly and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you check this website out.